and welcome to the show. This is episode 25 of the Life of Gaming podcast, and my name is Jamie, and I'll be your captain on this cruise of video game awesomeness. And you all know my co-host, the tails to my Sonic, the beard to be feared, the dandy Tandy, Mr. Josh Bryant.
Are you ready for some football?
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. I'm ready for our fantasy football draft.
I know.
So bring it on.
I know. It's going to be exciting, sir. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah. I'll have the best team, of course. And
of course. Right.
right.
Well, I'm dealing with a sore throat. I've been dealing with a sore throat for like 3 days now, so we'll see how long I last.
Yeah, if you weren't raspy enough, now you'll be like Solid Snake.
Right. Thank you.
No problem.
So, what are you up to, man? Any big plans for this 3-day weekend?
Well, Titus has a birthday party going on tomorrow. Like I said, I have 2 fantasy football drafts going on. So.
My goodness.
Yeah, I'm getting it on, man. I'm ready. I have all my prep work done, and I'm ready to take the titles this year.
You are
no
a
excuses.
busy man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Gotta love it.
Right. Well, I mean, I've got something to do pretty much every day this weekend, which is, good and bad. Monday, I don't have any plans, but if it doesn't rain, that probably means I'm going to be doing yard work or something. But at least, I've got nothing planned right now, so that's not too bad.
Not too bad. James, you and yard work just don't mix.
I know, man. We keep getting weeds and mowing the lawn and, trees stuff. It's just all sorts of stuff. But but you guys know it's not just me and Brant. We also have my brother-in-law, I guess the knuckles of our group, if you will, if Brant is my tails. Matt, how you doing, man?
What kind of noise does Knuckles make? I don't know. I was trying to imitate
He just talks like what's the Ninja Turtle that talks all whoa, dude. He talks like that.
Oh, Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I thought he talked more like
Whoa,
Raphael
dude.
because he's supposed to be like.
Or maybe maybe he's
guy.
like always irritated or something.
There,
I'm thinking of someone else.
I see it.
that works. Well, Matt, man, what are you up to? Because I know you've got our fantasy football draft as well.
Yes, and I got another one this weekend as well.
Awesome. So what else do you have going on,
2.
man? Anything else exciting?
Well, right now I'm keeping up on the college football games. Baylor's only up by 7 over SMU, so that's a struggle. But
Michigan
look. They got beat. They got beat by Utah, which everybody kind of expected. And Minnesota gave TCU a pretty good fight. They only lost by 6, so it exposed TCU a little bit. But Ohio State plays Monday, big one there. Hopefully the Bucks can, do more than what these other top-ranked teams have been doing, because most of them seem to be struggling right now.
So we'll see what happens.
Yep,
Never underestimate
football.
Ohio State, right?
Yeah, true.
Ohio.
We learned that from last year. IO.
Oh, dude.
There we go.
Hey, fun fact, by the way. This has nothing to do with football, but I read online today that to complete the journey from Rivendell to Mordor, the Fellowship would consume 1,780,214 calories.
Really?
Yes, some science magazine wrote about this.
That is
And
incredible.
what are they? And that's what we're paying them to study.
There you go. Well, hey, they
That's
want to know
awesome.
how long the journey took and how many calories it would take, and now we know.
I guess so.
Well, hey, Matt,
Sweet. What did you guys hear about the Fallout news?
What Fallout news is that, sir? Or should we save
How
that for our
many
news
lines?
section? How about we?
Yeah, we could save that.
You're jumping ahead, man. But since you're jumping ahead, how about we start with you, man?
I know.
What
I'm
have you
just
been
so
playing?
excited.
I know. What have you been playing lately, man?
Okay. Well, the beginning of this year, there was this little game called Bloodborne.
Oh,
okay?
yes.
Great environment, scary as all get out.
Have you talked about this game
Gorgeous
before?
animations. What's that? Just a little bit. Maybe I've hyped it up a little bit, yeah. But yeah, it wasn't for everybody, I don't think. The design of it, the hardness, I actually got frustrated with it a few times, and I'm not like that with Dark Souls games. So, that's a game of the year. Then we move on to The Witcher 3.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful open world environment, mature storyline, great characters, but then the combat just never hooked me. It was missing something. Then we go to Batman Arkham Knight, another Game of the Year contender.
Yes, yeah.
This is probably the most fun game you can play for the year, okay? James, you're with that, right? You think so?
Well, as of right now, Arkham, until some other stuff comes out, which we're going to talk about in a little bit for our topic of the week. But right now, Batman Arkham Knight is my game of the year.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it's that good. It hasn't gripped me like I wanted it to, though.
Okay.
I'm just with the Batmobile and some other things that are going on. It's sort of irritating in that way. But then we get to this game that I just recently purchased called Metal Gear Solid 5.
I don't think I've heard of that
the
one.
Phantom
Pain.
What is that
I
again?
don't
That's
know.
like an indie
Can you
game,
explain
right?
that?
Yeah. And this, guys, this is going to take the cake. This is going to take the cake. I don't care what you guys say. I'm not even that far in it, but the way the missions are so open and that there's no fail modes, okay? So
Sure.
you just go on and on. Whatever happens, the guards, they learn your patterns, so they'll actually adjust. The AI is fantastic.
That's really
the
cool.
The storyline is the only thing because there's some weird stuff going on. And I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just how they have like these Twilight Zone like things going on. I don't even know what to say. Sci-fi elements. That's
Okay.
just really weird. But other than that, I think this is going to be the game of the year, barring what Fallout 4 does. But that's what I've been playing. So
Cool.
Interesting.
You've been a very busy man.
I had to build it up.
Yeah.
You had to
those
build
other
the
games
hype.
I haven't been playing. Yeah, I'm just building the hype. I think this is the game of the year so far. But we'll see what Fallout 4 brings.
Sure. Well, Matt, what about you, man? What have you been up to?
Well, I played a little bit of what would, as of now, be my game of the year because I still haven't played Batman. I haven't played the last couple of Batmans. Not for, like, hate or anything, just didn't click with me. And then that would be Splatoon.
Oh, yeah.
Splatoon is probably, for me, what I got to experience this year, my favorite. But I've been
Great
playing
game.
a lot of SteamWorld Dig.
Oh, okay.
That one, Bobby would be proud right there.
Yes,
Shout out to
Bobby
Bobby.
and Image Inform. The guys who are at Image Inform are
Yes.
awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I've been playing that, and I had played it before and played it a little bit, but I didn't have a lot of time at that point in time, I guess, and was playing a lot of different things, so I didn't come back to it. So I finally come back to it, and I have actually invested a decent amount of time into exploring, and it's got a great feel. It is a simple, it's a simple game, what you're trying to do, but it's got that Metroid exploration kind of feel to it, and upgrading as well. You have to go and upgrade your drill and your little pickaxe and stuff, and it's just a really fun, awesome game. And I'm definitely looking forward to SteamWorld Heist now, whenever that comes out. So is that this year? Is that next year?
Yeah, it's actually coming to 3DS first. I believe it's this year. I mean, awesome. Bobby would totally punch me in the face right now for not remembering, but he's like, all of a sudden I hear this knock on my door, and I open up the door, and Bobby's there. He's like, "You idiot!"
Bobby
He
just
punches
me.
Oh, dude, that's
but
hilarious.
That and Gears of War HD. Been doing that because it's just an awesome game.
Cool.
It's great to go back to a classic, and I do gotta say though, the game is still awesome, but for some reason the feel is a little bit different. I remember the original one being very dark and kind of this dark, gritty atmosphere. This one, it's because they've, did the whole HD, whatever,
Enhancement,
upgrade,
yeah.
enhancement, everything's a little lighter and the feel isn't quite there.
Sure.
That was in the original. I think as a result, it's all nicer and it looks awesome, but it makes it a more bright atmosphere in some areas when I feel like originally it was dark and I liked it that way. And I mean dark in the literal sense of everything around you seeming dark.
Sure.
And sometimes the cutscenes flow kind of weird, they load almost instantaneously, which in their cutscenes that are meant to be there's been a moment of break and Marcus walking and then he's walked, but it's almost like it flows into the end of a level from Marcus when he stops walking at this point to all of a sudden he's over here wherever he's portrayed in this cutscene, which is weird. I don't know how to explain that. That might be really awkward, and everybody listening right now might be like, "This guy's just weird." But it just
We already knew that.
We are, yeah.
There's just a couple things off about the way it feels, but the game is still great. It's still the original Gears of War, which is awesome.
Sure.
So
Cool. Well, for me, I've been playing Gears of War as well. I actually reviewed it for the work print. And Matt, you were talking about the darkness, and that was actually one thing I talked about in my review, because that seems to be like one of the biggest complaints for the game is it's too bright. But looking back on it, I kind of feel like in the older games, they sort of used the darkness because the original game was gorgeous on the 360. Like it pushed the limits for what the 360 could do at the time. But looking back on it, I kind of feel like they used the darkness to hide the blurry textures and things like that. They kind of used it as a smokescreen in a way. And now that they can amp up the graphics and they can show the detail of what's going on, they've just, turned the brightness up. So to me, I actually think it's a benefit. But I
mean, I can see that, but it was just, I think I liked the atmosphere of it being dark. It's kind of like playing a Resident Evil game in like old school, like on the PS1 or maybe the GameCube remake, and it feels dark, and then all of a sudden you play a newer version and everything is just made lighter so you can see more detail. Like that's cool, but it doesn't give you the same atmosphere. Yeah. So I guess that's why I didn't get into it.
And I mean, one thing I found out with Gears, I'm terrible at the multiplayer because I never played the multiplayer. I mean, I played some co-op with you, but I've never played the online multiplayer before until this, because I played Gears long after it was, over. And so all that, online hype and stuff had died down and dried up. So no one was playing online. So I never really got to experience it. Well, now that I'm hopping in, like it's totally different from any other online multiplayer because the characters are so much heavier and they're a lot slower and the guns have so much more power to them. And so I am terrible at it. It's just something I'm going to have to adjust to.
Yeah, it's a game where you definitely die quickly. Like I had to remember because I hadn't played it in so long, and we had been playing a lot of Halo, that even in the campaign itself, you die a lot quicker upon actually getting hit and being out in the open. But your guns are more powerful. Sure. So it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, and I know what you mean because Halo, it just felt so much faster, and like I said, these characters just feel so much heavier and bigger.
Yeah.
But the other things I've been playing, well, actually, I'll stop right here because something I should have mentioned at the top of the show I didn't. What we're doing with Life of Gaming, we're changing things up a little bit. We've always been the Life of Gaming podcast, but we're actually going to kind of extend our reach a little bit and start doing some more stuff, especially on our YouTube side of things. We're actually going to start doing a lot more Let's Plays. We're going to start doing some video reviews and things like that. So hopefully you guys will look forward to that. So we're going to kind of, expand what we're doing a little bit and see what you guys think. But one thing I've been doing, I've just actually repurchased Don't Starve, this time on the Xbox One. It's a game I've always loved. We talked about it last week on the Indie Show with Bobby. And now I'm doing Let's Plays on it. And I've decided to kind of turn it into a series. I was just going to do one video, see how it went. But the fun of Don't Starve is seeing how long you can go. So what I'm doing, I'm taking these Let's Plays. I'm doing 2 days at a time, and chopping them up into pieces. So I'm also doing it a little bit differently this time because before I was recording all my videos over Twitch so I could do extended periods of record time. But I'm using the actual Xbox itself to record the video now, but the only problem with that is that it does it in 5-minute chunks. So every 5 minutes of my video, there might be like a tiny little hiccup in there, but that's just because that's the way the video cut it up. But I've got a Let's Play up for that, so I've got the first 2 days up, and I actually just recorded days 3 and 4, so that's going to go up as soon as I can get that up on YouTube. The other thing I'm playing the Mega Man collection. And this is one, I love Mega Man. I've been looking forward to this for a while and finally got some extra cash to pick that up. And I've decided I'm actually going to do a video review for that. So, keep your eyes open on our YouTube page for that. The other thing, we've always kind of had a website, but we've never really used it much. If you go to lifeofgamingpodcast.wordpress.com is where it's at right now. We're looking at possibly getting a real URL. But if you go to that now, we've actually organized it now. So if you go there, we are going to have, all our podcasts are going to be on there, all our videos and Let's Plays. It's all going to be broken down on there. So make sure to check that out. So we'll have links to all our different stuff on there. But that was my little plug right there.
Awesome.
So hopefully you guys are excited, Brant, because I know you've got a review coming up for us. You want to let us know about that?
Yes. Zombie Vikings, yep. Thank you to the guys from Zoink Games for letting us have a preview build, because they are awesome.
Alex over at Zoink Games got a hold of us and said, hey, you guys want some codes, which is awesome. And we're actually, just to give you kind of a preview, if you guys want to play Zombie Vikings, we do have some extra codes that we're going to be giving away. So stay tuned and, stick to our Facebook and our Twitter page to find out how you can win those.
Definitely, because it is worth it.
So, I mean, you're enjoying it. I mean, you've just barely cracked the surface right now, but I mean, you're enjoying it so far, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wish I had another PS4 controller because it's really meant to be a, couch co-op type of game. But overall, I love the art style. Combat works. The humor is there. If you stick it to the man, it's there in full glory. So, good stuff.
Now, I'm assuming it has online multiplayer, right?
I think so.
You can always hop in with Bobby or Mark or one of those other guys who are at Team Geek.
Oh, that's true.
Think about that. They could do some online multiplayer with you. That's just an option. And Matt,
that's a good idea.
That's right. You should totally, because that way you have more of an even what do you want to call it, feel for the game, because then you can play single player and multiplayer. But and Matt, I know you're doing a review for us here pretty soon. Although your review is a little farther off.
A little bit.
You're going to be doing our Halo 5 review.
Yes. And I'm going to try as hard as I can to fight my bias.
That's right.
Because I love the Halo series, and I'll be...
You're like 10, 11.
Right.
No.
But I know that's when you're super hyped for it. You already pre-ordered it. You got it on the way, so that's good.
Oh, yeah, and I'm looking, because I didn't get the collector's edition, or there's so many different editions. Whatever the one is that comes with the copy of the animated series that Steven Spielberg helped direct. But I want to watch that, so I literally asked somebody at Xbox, can I get this separately? Because on the Microsoft Store or on the Xbox Store, it says with bundle only with the limited edition. I was like, oh no. And they said, yeah, it looks like you'll be able to purchase it separately after it releases. I'm like, oh, okay.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
I can actually do the series too, if you want me to. We can review that.
Actually, you could. That would be pretty cool. It's a good idea. Just opening more doors, man. Just opening more doors.
There we go.
Well, with that, guys, we're going to hop into our news section in what we call Captain's Log. Okay, guys, we're going to break up our news section here. And I guess, let's see, what do we want to talk about? Xbox or PlayStation? How about we start... How about we start with PlayStation? So, Brant, I'm going to give you some choices.
Best first, of course.
I'm going to give you some choices. See what you'd rather want to talk about.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about Uncharted? Or do you want to talk about Uncharted? It's been a slow
We're getting into
news week.
Uncharted waters here.
Although, right.
Ooh, that was bad. Let's see. I'll take behind what's under the Uncharted door.
There you go. Well, there's actually been a lot of Uncharted news this week. Sony just kind of opened the floodgates on this. First of all, they announced an Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection bundle is coming out. It's going to have the 500 gig system. It's coming out October 9th. It's going to be $399. So if you don't have a PS4 yet and you want the Uncharted bundle, like if you didn't get to experience it last generation, that's definitely one to check out. The other thing, it's all Uncharted 4 news. They finally have a release date for Uncharted 4. It is coming March 18th. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's close to St. Patrick's Day. People will be celebrating the Irish. Green, and then,
right, that only you would make that connection, sir. But there's going to be 2 different collector's editions for this game. They haven't announced pricing for it yet. But one collection is going to have a steelbook case, a 48-page hardcover art book, a sheet of stickers, because you all know those are exciting. And then it's going to have what are called Naughty Dog points. And what these Naughty Dog points are, they unlock different content in the multiplayer. A lot of people think that this is pointing toward microtransactions, though, so that's kind of scary.
Doesn't every game do that now?
I wouldn't doubt it.
True. But, just seeing a major series like this do that is kind of, sad. But the other collector's edition that's coming out, it includes all that last stuff, but it's also coming with a 12-inch Nathan Drake statue. It's going to have exclusive multiplayer downloadable content, and it's coming with a PlayStation 4 theme. So, if you want the big collector's edition, you got that. So before I move on to anything else, because there's more Uncharted news after this, Brant, what do you think about all this Uncharted stuff I've thrown in your face?
What I think is they are really trying to push this because this is like their flagship title and it's going to be amazing and we just need to get it out.
Sure.
Get all the hype build up for it. I love what they're doing with the collection.
Sure.
because that's going to bring a lot of new people into the fold. Get them pumped for March 18th. And of course, that's going to be sell like gangbusters, because that's going to be the game that the PS4 is known for.
Absolutely. And now, I know you don't really do collector's editions or statues or anything like that. And I bet Rob over at the Workprint is probably pretty excited about that.
Rob will.
But the other Uncharted news, Brant, I don't know if you'll be excited for this or not, but Uncharted 4 will feature the first ever story DLC for Uncharted. And they said what they're going to do, anyone that pre-orders the digital deluxe edition on the PlayStation 4 will get access to the Uncharted 4 triple pack. And what that's going to include is going to include future access to the first ever single player story add-on. It's also going to have 2 special multiplayer packs. So you can get 2 separate multiplayer packs and brand new story DLC. I mean, from the way the article read, it sounds like they're kind of locking it behind this digital deluxe edition. But I'm assuming they're going to release it to the public eventually, especially if it's story related.
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, it's too much to keep behind closed walls. I mean, they're making this into a big thing, so down the line, they'll probably release it for everyone to buy.
Sure.
Now, how is this story DLC supposed to play? Because Uncharted stories are usually pretty straightforward, and they have a general, flow. And if you take out a piece to put in later, then I would think it would mess up the context of the story. Are they going to do it to where like you're a different character playing a different perspective for a couple missions or something?
See, that's what I'm wondering. They didn't give any detail on it at all. I'm assuming you'll probably be a side character, or maybe it'll be like a prequel story, but it's probably going to be something like that. I mean, Brant, what do you think? Do you think maybe it'll be like that Left Behind DLC that came out for Last of Us?
That would be great, because that Left Behind DLC was very well written. It could have been its own, what ended up being its own standalone game in some instances.
Sure.
So I totally agree with what they're doing. I hope they do. Naughty Dog is so good at story-driven content. I think they need to spend more time with that. I don't know if to have maybe play not as Nathan Drake, but someone else, or spread it out a little bit. Maybe a little Sully love in there.
Oh, yeah,
his brother.
That's true. I forgot he has brothers in there. Yep. That's actually a good point. You never know, man. Because I think they've learned a lot from that Left Behind DLC, and they'll probably do something along those lines. At least that's what I'm thinking in my head.
I hope so, because that DLC was awesome.
Cool. Well, to move on from our Uncharted news, we'll get into our Xbox stuff. Matt, would you rather talk about Castle Crashers?
Yes.
Or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5? You already know what the Tony Hawk news is.
I'm gonna go Castle Crashers because I actually don't know what the news is. So.
Okay. Well, we knew Castle Crashers HD was coming.
Yes.
We didn't know how soon. They announced Castle Crashers HD is coming to Xbox One September 9th.
Woo!
So that is very soon. They said it's going to feature locked 60 frames per second. And they said the detail and textures are going to be 5 times that of the original. So it's going to look a lot cleaner. It's going to run a lot smoother. It's going to feature a brand new mini game called Back Off Barbarian. So I have no idea what that is, but I know the one game had volleyball and the other game had like an arena. So I mean that's going to be pretty cool. Now here's the interesting thing: when the game releases, it's going to be $15. But if you already have it for 360, if you get it before September 20th, it will be absolutely free.
Yes. Sorry, I got too excited there.
And yes! Don't hurt yourself. Here's the other thing.
Oh, man.
At the same time, they said the original Castle Crashers is going to become backwards compatible. Now, I'm not really sure why they're doing that. Maybe that way people who have an Xbox One can still play with their friends on 360. That's the only reason I could think they would possibly do that. Because why would they release an HD version of it and also make the old one backwards compatible?
Well, that or also... people had characters they had built up to level, I don't even remember how high you could get in that game, like 40 or 50 or something like that.
That's true.
And they had built them up. I'm assuming in this new HD remake, you're not going to be able to carry over your characters. So, it's still a way to maybe go back to your old characters and play the original, along with, having the new HD version where you could, get some new characters and level them up.
Sure. And I didn't think about that. That's a really good point. And they didn't mention any kind of moving your characters over or anything like that. So we'll see.
I doubt you'd be able to. I really doubt it.
Yeah.
Just in the way that game is made.
Sure. I mean, and also you got pit people.
I
coming
wish
out
that
too,
was
so-
coming to the PS4.
Yeah. I mean, Castle Crashers eventually came
It
to
hasn't been
PS3.
announced yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows? Yeah, it still can.
I mean, as we learned last generation, pretty much, unless it's an exclusive owned by the company itself, either Sony or Microsoft, it will go multi-platform eventually.
Well, not necessarily, because if you look at the Behemoth...
Almost makes me think...
Oh, sorry, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Behemoth almost seems like it's strictly Microsoft now.
Well, because Alien Hominid came out, and Alien Hominid was only on Xbox. Castle Crashers came out, went multi-console, and then Battle Block Theater came out, and it
But not
stayed
for
on
a
Xbox.
while.
Well,
Yeah.
did it ever come to PlayStation? I don't think it did.
No, that one didn't. But Castle Crashers came out later.
Yeah.
So it didn't come out at the same time.
I mean, I guess I was thinking like major series, like Mass Effect was originally Xbox, went multi-plat, and you had Bioshock, originally Xbox multi-plat. Like a bunch of big titles did. And I figure it's going to be the same way for a lot of companies this gen. So I was just kind of guessing.
Sure. Well, I guess real quick, Matt, I'll let you choose the Nintendo news, and Brant, I'll let you handle the multi-console stuff. So
Sounds
I
good.
guess we'll go to Nintendo here real quick. Matt, would you rather talk about the 3DS or Super Mario Maker?
Super Mario Maker.
Okay. Super Mario Maker comes out September 11th. So it's like next Friday. It's like right around the corner. And Nintendo's been pushing this game like crazy. And, you know, they've done all sorts of contests and things like that. Well, what they're doing now, they're combining their advertising efforts with 5 different YouTube channels. And they're kind of do what they did with that Facebook contest they had a while back, where they're letting 5 different teams from these YouTube channels make levels, and they'll get voted on, and then, you know, the winner will be crowned from whoever liked it, you know, whoever had the most likes on their videos. And the 5 teams are going to have is Strawberry 17, the Game Theorist, the Completionist, Geek and Sundry, and iJustine. Those are the different teams we're going to have on there. I mean, Nintendo's taking a very interesting approach with Super Mario Maker, because what they're doing, instead of just going out and advertising it, they're going to these different places and getting celebrities and getting, you know, famous game creators to make levels and say, hey, try this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just not going to help because of the lack of desire for the Wii U, the system. Like if this was the same strategy being used for a game that was on all consoles or something like that, it would enhance the, I should say probably the probability that more people are going to buy it. But like Splatoon. Splatoon was an amazing game, and it sold a decent amount of Wii U's, but not as much as probably what they would need. And I love Nintendo, and this is a great strategy, and I think most people who have a Wii U are going to be aware of the fact that Super Mario Maker is going to be a must-have.
Yes.
But I don't see it kind of like Splatoon pulling in that many more people to Wii U, sadly. I mean, I really wish it would, but at this point in the generation, people are so jaded on which companies they love and which companies they've decided to hate, and we all have limited money, that most people who don't own a Wii U by now are just not going to get one.
Sure.
And because of being jaded. But, you know.
It's kind of sad, though, because they're saying that this is the best use of the gamepad on the system.
Yeah.
And for me
Guys,
personally...
don't make...
Sure, go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, don't make the mistake. I think this game is going to sell consoles. I think it's going to push it over the Vita, at least. Sure. Which isn't saying much.
For the Wii U, that's a big mountain right now. So
Yeah, that's...
But I think this game is good enough that on its own merit that people are going to buy it over the holiday season.
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely take the plunge.
I think I've seen so many awesome Nintendo games come out, especially in the last couple of years, that hasn't done anything for people's attitude towards Wii U. And I think that's just why I think
you're a very
that,
jaded man.
I have become that way because I've like supported them and I've loved them, and still it doesn't help. Like, you know, not just me obviously, but like in general, all these people who love and support them will tell everybody how great these games are, and still the people who are already stuck at this point just kind of they're not buying in. So we just hope that the NX is better and that it catches on better.
Sure. But I mean, personally for me, talking about the advertising for Super Mario Maker, people announced it, you know, when Nintendo announced it, people were super excited. And me personally, I had no interest in it because I am terrible at creation games. I am horrible. Like Little Big Planet, I loved playing through the story. That was the part I enjoyed. I loved the online multiplayer and things like that. come to making levels, terrible. I was horrible at it. And you could find some pretty cool levels, but most of the time you'd go into the level creation and find a random level and it was garbage. Not all the time, I guess, but I mean, you found some really cool stuff too. But with this one, I'm like, okay, there's no story. It's just about creating. I'm like, I don't know. But now that they've shown off how easy it is and they've shown off all these different levels, and the turning point for me for Super Mario Maker, and the thing that made me super excited for it was the Nintendo World Championships right before E3. When I started seeing those levels and what was being done, I'm like, okay, it's on my radar now. And I think and I'm assuming there's probably other Nintendo fans are the same way, where they're like, okay, I get it, you make Mario levels, that's great. But then you see it done and see how it's done, and it really opens up your eyes to all the possibilities. So we'll see. I mean, it comes out next Friday. We'll see how it sells.
Yeah, I think it'll sell for people who have a Wii U. I just don't know if it'll pull in a whole lot more.
James, you being the Mario man, I thought this would be like your big.
I know that
man.
Exactly.
Gotta get this.
You think so? But I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm the same way. That let's say I had a Wii U, okay, and I wanted to get Mario Maker. I'm looking at it the same way. Like, I'm just not good at creating things. Yeah. I realize that you can play everyone else's creation, but in the long term, it just doesn't have that. I think people are going to make levels that they just look so ridiculously hard that I just wouldn't have fun with it in the long run.
Kind of like Cloudberry Kingdom, right?
Oh, man, jeez. When I'm getting split open by all these chainsaws all the time.
Yeah, oh my gosh. But
I think what would actually be awesome is if there were a way to add the capability of making like so many levels in a row. That way, if people could almost make their own Mario games, that would be cool. Then I could see that lasting for a while.
Yeah.
But
now, I think they said you could link. I think it's like 4 levels together. I think is how many you could do.
So like make your own worlds. I guess.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I guess to get onto the multi-platform news, Brant, you've got 2 choices. Would you rather talk about Mega Man or a little game called Fallout 4, which I think you already know what it's about since you started to mention it at the beginning of the show.
Yes. Let's hit on the Fallout.
Okay.
Sorry, Mega Man people.
Well, I just want to drop this real fast, and we won't talk about it at all. But the Mega Man news, which I just read today, 20th Century Fox is working on a Mega Man movie. Boom. Okay. But the Fallout
nice.
The Fallout 4 news. Bethesda confirmed that Fallout 4 contains 111,000 lines of dialogue. They said it took them years to record all this dialogue, and it's got more dialogue than Fallout 4 and Skyrim combined.
Wait, it's got more dialogue than Fallout 4?
Or Fallout 3, sorry. Fallout 3. That makes sense. Fallout 3. But yeah, Fallout 3 and Skyrim combined. So that's a lot of talking.
Boom, man. I mean, what can you say to that? That's just inhuman almost that they could make all that dialogue.
Sure.
I wonder how many people they did this process for. I mean, it would take forever.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say about half the game's expense has probably got to be people who they hired just to speak.
Sure, but they probably had like one person do multiple voices and record a bunch of different lines.
But still, you got to get a ton of people to do because you can tell the difference sometimes.
True.
Could you just imagine being that person, like one of those people who just did a random NPC voice, and you got to be there for like a year, and at the beginning you're so excited, and then a year later they're like, all right, record this line today. Thanks for saving me. And then it's like,
Well, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, we've come a long way from the Dynasty Warriors 2 voice acting.
Right.
You flaming idiots! It's the worst voice acting in the world.
Right.
I won't even go there.
Well, I mean, they've already said Fallout 4 has over 400 hours to beat it all. So, I mean, this game keeps getting bigger. So, and they're going to add DLC on top of it in the future. This game is going to be massive.
Yeah.
But I guess real quick, we'll get onto our money-saving My 2 cents. Right now for PlayStation, over at Best Buy, if you purchase a PS4, you get a copy of Madden 16, a physical copy, for free. So if you want Madden, you can buy a regular Xbox or a bundle or whatever, and you can get a copy of Madden for free. So everyone loves free games, right?
Yay.
Over on the Xbox side, right now on Amazon, you can get a 1 terabyte Xbox One bundle with Madden 16, and then you're going to get 3 $10 vouchers. And what they're going to be, you get one for Amazon Instant Video, one for Amazon Digital Music, and one for Comixology. So you're going to get $10 to each of those.
Ooh.
So, and that's all for $350. But if you want a 1 terabyte Xbox One over at GameStop, they're doing a special. I guess the deal's not as good, but what you're getting, you get the Xbox One, you get a physical copy of Madden 16, and then you get the digital player's guide for it. But I mean, how many people really need a player's guide for Madden?
So what does it
how to
mean
throw
to
that
pass?
football, man.
Right.
Yeah. How do you catch the ball?
Right.
Do you guys remember when Madden did that whole QB vision thing where it had like a tunnel vision and you had to point it in the right direction in order to be accurate?
Yeah.
Well, more accurate. Yeah,
Dude, I
that
haven't
was the
played
worst.
Madden since like Michael Vick was on the cover.
Yeah, it's
with
been
the
a while.
Atlanta
Oh, wow.
Falcons.
Yeah, I think it was like my
I
second
don't
year in
remember
college
what
was
year.
the last time I played Madden. It's been a while. But
I was playing Madden 15 for EA Access just the other week. It was a fun game.
cool. The other thing on Xbox right now, this weekend only, so you may listen. If you listen to this too late, I'm sorry. But this weekend, so now to the end of Labor Day, all Labor Day weekend, Evolve is free to play on Xbox One. So if you want to check it out, try it out this weekend. On the Nintendo side, we already mentioned this last week, but I'll just bring it up again here real quick. Right now on Nintendo's website, you can get a refurbished Wii U with Mario 3D World for $225. But if you want Wind Waker instead, you can do $235. So which game you want to get, there's the price for you. Also, recently, August 30th, was just passed us by, the Nintendo 2DS has dropped to $99. The only other Nintendo news I have right now at Best Buy, for all you Amiibo lovers out there, including Bobby, you can get 2 Amiibos for $20 at Best Buy. Now, it's on select Amiibo only, so you're going to have to check the website and check the store to see which ones they are. But, you know, it's not a big savings. Normally $12. You can get it for $10. So, but still, it's some savings. Also, there's some pretty good game sales going on right now, just in general. Dark Souls 2, which I put up some Let's Plays on our site for that, and Brant and I have been talking about it a lot. Right now, Dark Souls 2, you can get at Best Buy for $30, so that's not too bad. At Walmart, you can get Dying Light for $30.
Totally worth it.
Yep. Batman Arkham Knight, which we've been talking about a little bit earlier in the show, on Amazon right now, you can get that for $45. So it's not a huge savings, but you can still save some bucks. Sunset, and here's a whole bunch on Amazon. Sunset Overdrive, you can get for $28. And I know we're getting into the fall season, the kind of creepy Halloween season in October is right around the corner. You can get The Evil Within or Alien Isolation for only $20 on Amazon right now. So that's not too bad.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, Brant, do you have anything else to add?
Not right now. I don't think the PlayStation's having any sale going. Maybe the retro sale was last week. Never mind. No good
Matt?
sales right now.
Right. Matt, you got anything?
Not this week. I can't think of anything actually. Yeah, no, we did the games for gold and everything already for this month, right?
Yep, we did that last week.
Yeah, so I can't think of anything.
Okay, cool. And by the way, speaking of games with gold, I downloaded the Dear God, which is the free game right now. I haven't touched it yet, but I downloaded it. I mean, it's not getting very good reviews, at least from what I've seen.
Oh no, I heard it was terrible, but
How could the deer god be terrible?
Right.
This is the god of deers.
Right. Well, apparently what it is, you're a hunter who dies and gets reincarnated as a deer, and you're just trying to survive, and you have to like eat and
What
kill
is
things.
it like an 8-bit game?
Yeah,
or what?
it is. It's an 8-bit side
Okay.
scroller. Yeah. Or 16-bit, whatever. Yeah. But,
Interesting.
okay, guys, with that, we're going to get into our topic of the week and discuss, because we just finished our summer game series. So we're going to talk about what we're excited for between now and the end of the year. So hit it, Brant.
You wanted me to have a song for this?
Yes, you have to have a song for this. That was
I
wonderful,
was so
Tina.
not prepared. I thought, how about you go back to your awesome guitar solo thing? I thought that was a summer game series thing, man.
Oh, come on.
Come on,
It's
you
more-
put
it's
me
more
on the
fun this
spot.
way. That's the fun part of the show.
yeah.
Well,
Is that what everybody's been requesting?
Yes,
my
everyone
awesome
loves
Exactly.
your beautiful vocals.
I was ready to back you up again too.
You were prepared, Matt. You should have just taken
I was
off
prepared.
with it.
Thanks a lot, Josh. You let all our listeners down. They're just all very depressed right now.
Okay, next week I will have the best intro music you never
There
had.
you go. Well, what we're going to do for this, I've got it broken down by month, and we'll just kind of go through months between now and the end of the year just to talk about what's coming out. And then at the end, we'll kind of talk about which games we're most excited for. So September, things really kicked off September 1st. Because as Brant mentioned earlier, a little game called Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain came out. Now, this game has kind of had a rough road to release with all the Kojima and Konami stuff going on. But I think it was worth the wait. Is that right, Brant?
Without a doubt, this is a game that we don't even deserve right now. Like, it should have been released next year. It's really that good. I mean, you guys should seriously consider getting it down the road, because you don't really have to have, if you never played Metal Gear or don't like it, you can just jump into this game and the mechanics hold true, which you get a taste with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes anyway, so you sort of know what you're going into.
Sure.
But yeah, I like I said, I'm barely into it, but it's already topping my Game of the Year list, and I love Bloodborne, so.
Cool. And I mean, I have Ground Zeroes downloaded. I should probably check it out.
Yeah, you might change your mind.
Sure.
Say, hey, I gotta get this game now.
I mean, and
Screw that Fallout 4. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Well, I mean, and that really kicks off this whole fall games, and I guess somewhat winter games for this year. After that, September 8th, we have Tearaway Unfolded for PlayStation coming out. Same week, we've got Super Mario Maker coming out to the Wii U. The week after that, we've got Forza Motorsport 6 on September 15th. This is the first big Xbox exclusive of the fall. And I know there's a demo right now you can check out. So go ahead and, if you're into Forza, check that out. Also, the same day, now this, I have it down is a full game because it is releasing that way, but it's actually DLC. The Destiny the Taken King version of the game is coming out September 15th.
Oh, yeah.
So people are very hyped about Destiny. And if you haven't gotten on the Destiny train yet, that might be a good time to do it. September 20th, we have a new Skylanders Superchargers coming out. Now, I know none of us play those games, but for some people, those are always really big releases. September 25th, the new Animal Crossing's coming out. Happy Home Designer. Now, I know this is the one where people, they love Animal Crossing, but when Nintendo showed it off at E3, they were kind of disappointed. But, I mean, that's coming out.
It's the 3DS one, right?
Yes, the 3DS. And this is the one that uses the AR cards. It's coming out with the brand new Amiibo cards.
Oh, okay.
And the same day, because this game requires Amiibo cards. And so the same day they're releasing that little, it looks like a hockey puck that will allow older 3DSs to use AR and Amiibo. So that comes out the same day. September 27th, so only a few days later, Lego Dimensions comes out. This is a pretty big deal. This is the one that's kind of like going up against Skylanders. It's going up against Disney Infinity and Amiibo and all those. And it's taking every popular series and they're throwing it all together. It's got like Doctor Who and Back to the Future, and it's got The Simpsons and Scooby-Doo. And like if you can think of it, it's probably in this game.
Wait a minute, I got a question.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of trailers on this game, and it's piqued my interest because of all the different characters you can be. But when you say it's competing against Disney Infinity in those games, do you mean that you get little like Lego figurines you got to put somewhere?
Yes, you actually get.
Really?
Yeah, it comes with the base, and you actually have to build the portal base yourself out of Legos, which is kind of cool. And then it comes with little Lego figures,
interest.
And the little Lego figures you scan them into the game. It's actually much closer to Disney Infinity, where you have the characters and then you have the play sets on top of that. So that's the way the game works.
See, now I lost interest. That's
More money
I
to
was-
spend.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
man,
I'm kind of like Matt though, where I would love to play it if it was a regular Lego game, but because it requires the extra investment of getting all those little characters, I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Like, I know I'm an amiibo hunter to a point, like I've gotten 10 of them or something like that, but that's more for almost like collection purposes, I guess.
Sure.
But with Lego, it's like, I don't want to collect a Lego figure,
Right.
like I can just get Legos.
Sure. The only other release in September, the final release in September, which actually we've gone with our news earlier. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 comes out September 29th. So that's the general. There's 9 major releases in September. I guess, Brant, we'll start with you. What do you think is the best release in September? Because I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's already been released, Metal Gear Solid 5. But LEGO Dimensions has piqued my interest in a way that... I think your kids would love it, though. Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking at. Because, like you said, you actually build it up from what it sounds like. Mm-hmm. The ground, you get the figures. And I mean, so many movie franchises they're looking to get into this. So, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. But it is going to be a heavy expense, which is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember how much they cost. I'm assuming they're probably around the same price as Amiibo, probably like $10 or $12 a figure. So, we'll see.
Which Legos are expensive on their own, so that isn't too bad.
Sure. And Matt, what about you, man? What do you think is going to be, I'm assuming Mario Maker for September?
Yeah, or Mario Maker, or you might actually be surprised with this. I know everybody's been dogging this game for a long time, but Tony Hawk 5.
I'm so hyped for that game.
It's like, I don't know why people are saying it's so bad. Like, I've seen some of the videos and it looks like it plays exactly like the old Tony Hawk games. I mean, I know they're saying all sparse environments or whatever. I'm like, what do you expect? It's a Tony Hawk game. You just go around and make your own way. Right. Like, as long as it has some of the modes and then the create a park mode looks interesting, as long as it plays like it to where you hit, left square or whatever it is, because the last time I played it was on PlayStation, but like left, what was that, X, and then it does like a kickflip. Sure. Well, then that's fine. Right. I'm good. Right. And I can get into it. And that one, the only reason Metal Gear isn't up there for me is I've never played any Metal Gear.
Same here.
I'm sure it's a great game, but I'm not.
I've played bits and pieces of Metal Gear, and I'm going to try Ground Zero, so we'll see. But I am pretty excited for Tony Hawk 5, and I'm going to cheat and sneak in the PlayStation or the Tony Hawk news I didn't mention earlier. If you pre-order on Xbox, you get Cuphead, Mugman, and the main character from Sunset Overdrive in the game. So that's pretty cool. But actually, for September, this is going to make me sound like a total loser, but the more I see of Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, I'm actually like, it actually looks like a pretty cool game.
Happy Home Designer.
I mean, it sounds terrible, but nice. I really enjoy Animal Crossing, and I don't know. It just takes that universe and it's just a spin-off game. I don't know. We'll see. But for October, we'll hit October here.
No, wait. When I have a question.
Sure.
When does Cuphead come out? Is that part
that is 2016.
Yeah, it's next year.
I think it's February.
Oh, it is.
February or March. Yeah, it's a little ways away.
I've seen some more videos on that though.
Wow,
that looks better almost every time I watch it.
But for October, the first release in October, we actually have 2 releases at the beginning of the month. October 6th. We have Transformers Devastation, which I've got some mixed feelings about that one.
Is that Wii U one?
No, that's the one it's multi-platform and it's by Platinum Games, Bayonetta people. Right. The other thing that's coming out October 6th is Rock Band 4. So we'll see how that sells because, I mean, that was really a past generation thing. So we'll see how it does.
I don't think it'll sell well right away, but if they start advertising it, because I haven't seen like hardly anything, but I think if they start pushing it and focusing on the fact that you can use your old instruments, a lot of people are going to want to dig them out.
Sure. October 9th, which we mentioned earlier, we've got Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection coming out, so that's pretty cool. Also October 9th on the 3DS, we haven't really mentioned that yet, Chibi Robo Ziplash, the new side-scrolling platformer from Nintendo's coming out.
What I've been waiting for.
Right. October 13th, Dragon Quest Heroes comes out. Now, I don't really know a lot about this. I know it's a PlayStation exclusive. Do you know anything about this game, Brant? Are you a Dragon's Quest guy at all?
I know it's not like your typical JRPG. It's more in you take your like gauntlet style, I think.
Okay,
that's what it is. So it's not like a proper entry, but it looks intriguing. It's going to be huge in Japan, so. Yeah.
But the other thing coming out October 13th, I'm just mentioning this because we talked about Back to the Future earlier, but October 13th is the I think it's the 30th year anniversary of Back to the Future, I believe. Back to the Future, the game, which came out last generation, they're re-releasing it physical copy for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 October 13th. So if you haven't checked out that Telltale game yet, that's pretty cool. October 16th, Yoshi's Woolly World comes to America. It's already out in other parts of the world right now, but it comes to America October 16th. Guitar Hero Live comes out October 20th. So to compete with Rock Band. Now, Matt, I'm going to ask you right now, what do you think? I mean, you were always a big Rock Band guy. What do you think of the way they're taking Guitar Hero this generation? With the whole live footage thing.
I'm interested. I like that they're trying to differentiate themselves from Rock Band, because where they were slacking when they tried to do the whole band thing is they just didn't have the amount of songs that were available as Rock Band. So like most people just started to go into Rock Band. I don't know what actual sales were, but it just felt that way.
Sure.
But with this, I actually think of it more positively, I think, than a lot of people, because I think that's a neat twist. Now, I think it can get repetitive because there's probably only so many ways you could film people reacting to you as you're playing on stage. And so I feel like after 20 songs, if you start seeing the same reactions in the same exact videos, that would get old.
Yeah, I can see that.
But if they filmed enough to make it feel relatively fresh almost every time, then I think that's a really awesome idea and a really cool way to experience it. So we'll see.
Yeah. October 20th, same day, PlayStation exclusive Tales of Zestiria. I don't know anything about this one. I'm assuming it's a JRPG, Brant. But
isn't that part of a series?
It's part of like
Tales
Tales of Xillia and
So that one comes October 20th. The next Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which we had an episode about on our summer game series. That's October 23rd. Also,
that's a big month.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
I just said it's a big month.
Absolutely. Also October 23rd, same day, Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. So that comes out October 23rd. The final release in October is October 27th, which is Halo 5. So, that's going to be awesome. We move on to November. And, I mean, that's October is the biggest of the rest of the year. October is the biggest month. It's got 12 major releases that month. So I mean,
November has more of the releases that I think a wider audience want,
right.
but October has a lot of good games in it.
In November 3rd, the reboot of Need for Speed comes out. Now, I'm not a big racing guy, but I was actually very impressed with the gameplay and stuff during E3 for that. So I mean, that if you're a racing game guy, that could be pretty cool. November 6th is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It is also the release of Yokai Watch on 3DS, which is huge in Japan, but they decided to bring it to America. And Yokai Watch, I don't know how much you know about it, but I guess they're bringing over the animated series. This is going to be huge. It's kind of like Pokemon in a way, where you're trying to collect all this stuff. So we'll see if it catches on or not. I'm assuming it will because they're hitting all the right beats with this one. So it's already super popular in Japan.
I feel like with it being new, though, part of the reason Pokemon caught on is it was mostly for people who were young. You didn't have like a 30-year-old or too many 30-year-olds at the time in, 99 getting into Pokemon. So I feel like it'll be for a younger audience, and that'll be like this generation's Pokemon, maybe.
Sure. Also, November 10th is Rise of the Tomb Raider and Fallout 4, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The rest of the month, November 17th, we've got Star Wars Battlefront. November 20th, we've got Star Fox Zero. So, November is one of the greatest months in the history of video games. We've got Rise of the Tomb Raider, Fallout, Star Wars, and Star Fox all in the same month. And
whether you're Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, you are in it.
You are set. I mean, that's crazy. December,
you are good to go for the rest of your life.
Especially with Fallout 4, yes. But December, it's a very slow month. There's only 3. Well, there's more than 3 releases, but 2 of them don't have a date yet. So I'll get to that here in a second. But December 1st, right now, Just Cause 3 is set to release. December 4th is Xenoblade Chronicles X. And then December 11th is Devil's Third. So those are the 3 major releases in December. On Nintendo's side, they actually have...
Nice way to put it.
Right. They also have Mario Tennis Ultra Smash and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Right now, they only have them listed as Holiday 2015. So I'm assuming they're going to come out sometime between now and the end of the year, but they may get pushed back. You never know. So that's it right now. There's only, like I said, only 3 major releases for December. So just to sort of rewind a little bit, September's got 9 games, October's got 12, November's got 8, and December's got 3. And I went in and I kind of broke this down just to see where it's a total of 34 games if you count the 2 holiday release games. And what we've got, 15 games are multi-platform. 5 games, well, actually 7 if you count Holiday, are for the Wii U exclusively. 5 games are exclusive to 3DS. 4 games are exclusive to PlayStation 4, and 3 games are exclusive to Xbox.
What is this about PS4 having no exclusive games?
Right. Well, but if you look at them, though, I mean,
it's Halo, Rise of the Tomb Raider,
right?
And plus, we've skipped over on Rare Replay and Gears already because they've kind of already released. So.
Oh no, we can have a major console war here
Until dawn.
Yeah, no.
My friend.
Should I get my popcorn?
Yeah, no.
Hey, I'm
No.
Brant's right though,
I'll tell
man.
you what,
Until
though.
dawn looks awesome.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what though, man. I truly hope the NX has backwards compatibility because there are too many awesome Nintendo games that are not only like coming out throughout the rest of the year. I'm not saying all of them are great, but you know, you still got Star Fox, which is going to be more entertaining than I think people will say right now, and Super Mario Maker, and then you got Splatoon, and like all the amazing Wii U games that came out in the last couple of years.
Pikmin 3, Wonderful 101, Bayonetta 2.
I agree with you there.
People have just missed them, and I truly hope the NX is backwards compatible because people need to really experience playing them.
I have a feeling
and
it
they
will
just
be.
miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some way.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, especially if they can bring Splatoon over, because as you guys know, Splatoon
yeah.
is selling like hotcakes all over the world.
Well, it's an awesome game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that haven't experienced it just because they don't want the Wii U. If the NX comes out and does something special and actually starts selling, if they could have either bring this game, make it backwards compatible, and bring it over, or,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to say it, but if they had some kind of new Splatoon game at launch, because, I mean, you wouldn't have the motion controls if you didn't have the game. They'd have to change some of the features if you didn't have the gamepad anymore. But, I mean, I could see Splatoon becoming a big series if they do it right. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, it would be kind of like their new Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers was, you know, fine on the Nintendo 64, but when we got to the GameCube, I know the GameCube didn't sell well, but that game in particular, almost everybody who loves Smash Brothers looks at Melee as the fondest of their memories. Right. You know, and so this could almost be the same way. You know, if Splatoon's great for those who experienced it, but then on the next system, if more people actually buy the NX, then, you know, maybe if they have a Splatoon 2 or whatever it is, then more people would discover why it's so amazing.
Well, I guess now that we've gone through all the releases between now and the end of the year, Brant, let's start with you, man, because I know right now you say that Metal Gear Solid is the game of the year for you right now.
It's the game to beat.
Right. What, I guess, if you could say, well, I would say name your most anticipated game, but let's say maybe 2 or 3. What games are you most excited about between now and the end of the year? You can list them in order, like 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, however you want to do it, or you can just, you know, name them.
Okay, well,
Actually,
first,
you know what? Let's do 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Good plan.
3, 2, 1. Well, I already know what number 1 is, so I'm just starting there. Fallout 4.
Sure.
Hands down. I think, James, it's safe to say that you knew this was coming.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the game that's going to take most of my life away. I probably won't even beat Metal Gear Solid. It's funny because I keep getting these huge games, then I don't finish them, then the next huge game comes and I start playing that. So I have like this backlog that just keeps growing and growing.
Poor.
And we have even
hide them in your
listed.
beard. You just lose them in your beard. They just disappear.
It's insane. Yeah, and then all these awesome indie games are coming out, free PS Plus games and whatnot, and it's the time to be a gamer, guys. Come on, get your systems.
I've said it before, man. Honestly, this is like the pinnacle of this generation. There are so many good games coming out right now. I don't know how they're going to beat this year. Next year has some awesome games, but this year is crazy.
Well, yeah, next year has Dark Souls 3, which is
and Mirror's
I
Edge.
can't wait for.
Mirror's Edge, so good.
Right.
But go ahead, man. What else
we
you
won't
got?
even go there. We're so busy with this year. Star Wars Battlefront. What is it? 3?
It's just called Star Wars Battlefront.
It's just
Battlefront.
Battlefront.
Okay.
It's basically number 3, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that game looks amazing. I love Star Wars. The only thing that's holding me back from, getting it right away is the multiplayer aspect, because I'm not a big multiplayer person. And then pretty much from there, I mean, unless Persona 5 creeps into 2015, which some of the rumors are there. I mean, those are probably the big 3 games that I would just want to play right away.
Cool. Well, I guess for me, I'll start with number 3 and work my way up because that's the proper way to do it.
Of course.
For me, my number 3 is Star Fox Zero. I had, like, when I saw it at E3, I don't know what I had built up in my mind. I was kind of disappointed. But now that I've gone back and watched it and seen more footage, I'm super hyped because I love Star Fox. I mean, that's the whole reason I chose to talk about it in our summer game series. And I mean, it's made by Platinum Games, and I absolutely love Platinum Games. I know there's been a handful of bad Platinum games, but overall, most Platinum games are solid. They've got great combat. I mean, and graphically, it's really the more they're releasing, the more they're showing. It looks super clean. It's going to be a great game. I'm super excited for Star Fox. My number 2 was my number 1 until E3. But my number 2 is Rise of the Tomb Raider. I loved Tomb Raider so much, and I was super excited for Rise of the Tomb Raider. And if you haven't played the original Tomb Raider Definitive Edition yet, it's going to be free on Xbox One starting the 15th of the month. So download it and play it. It is awesome. I'm super excited. I mean, part of it, though, I can't play Uncharted. I mean, Uncharted is going to be awesome, but I feel like Tomb Raider is a good, I wouldn't say substitute because that makes it sound like it's a lesser of a game. But I think that Tomb Raider fills. I think Tomb Raider fills that Uncharted hole that I have just being an Xbox, just having an Xbox One right now. But my number 1 game, and Brant knows this, and Matt knows this, Fallout 4.
Yeah, November
when they started
10th.
talking
I was going to
about
say Happy Home Designer.
Right. Honorable mention to Happy Home Designer and Tony Hawk. But no, Fallout 4. The more they show of that game, the more excited I get. I don't need to see any more of it. I just need it in my hands because, I mean, that game is just, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, 400 hours of gameplay. I mean, the last time I played Fallout, I mean, it was New Vegas. It's been a while. I'm ready to enter the wasteland, sir.
More than ready. Yep.
But Matt, what about you, man?
Oh man, see, I have a top 2 very easily, but I have a couple different games tied for 3, so I'm trying to differentiate and
choose one, sir. Come on.
All right. Number 3 would be, amazingly enough, because I won't get it right away, but I'm going to play it. It's going to be Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
Okay.
Which is number 3, and I know everybody's like hating this game and everything. But
you've lost
like
all
before,
credibility to our
very
listeners.
Interested. Yeah, no, I know,
Right.
pretty much, but. I mean, it'll just bring me back, and that's at this point in my life. I'm liking nostalgia a lot. My number 2, I think you're going to be shocked that this is actually my number 2, but Halo 5.
Okay, I actually saw that coming because I know what your number 1 is going to be.
Really, you know what my number 1 is going to be? Think so? Yeah, Halo 5, obviously I'm a huge Halo fan, love it. I think Halo 5 might be my favorite game at the end of the year if the story pans out the way they're building it up. They're almost building it up to be like the best story in the whole series. So I'm very interested to see if that actually pans out. But number 1, Star Wars Battlefront.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Is that what you, yep.
I knew those two weren't a close race
exactly.
for you.
Yeah. I mean, there's just that game. Oh, I love the Star Wars universe. They've done such an excellent job of presenting the appropriate feel. You feel like you're in that area. I'm so excited for the movie at the end of the year and just the whole atmosphere of building towards Star Wars. Like it's like one of those, it'll almost help me enjoy the movie more playing that game in the weeks up to it. Because it'll just, get me in that Star Wars zone. And I mean, throughout my whole life, that's been my number 1 favorite fantasy universe of all time. And so it's definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, I guess, Matt, we're going to cap off our topic of the week here. I know we're talking about games between now and the end of the year, but if you could name one game you're excited for as we head into next year, what would that be?
I gotta think. Off the top of my head, since you're putting me on the spot here, I'm gonna say Quantum Break.
Oh, cool. Okay. I thought you might say
because. Cuphead. Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to Cuphead too. That one's good, but it's not. Choice. Because when I think of a game like that, I always think of a big game for some reason, first off. And that game, just what they showed off at Gamescom, it looks really awesome as an experience. Cool. Like, I won't say it's going to have the greatest gameplay or anything, but it looks like it'll be an awesome experience.
Plus, the track record's pretty good. I mean, Alan Wake was great.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll see. But, Brant, what about you? One game for next year. Go.
Guys, I am ready to die again and again and again. Bring me Dark Souls 3 all day, every day. It wasn't on my top of the list at first, but oh, geez, I just love those games so much. Can't get enough. And the gameplay demos that they've shown, it looks like it's meshing both the Dark Souls and Bloodborne together in a way. Faster combat, huge bosses. I can't be more thrilled for this.
You were just like quivering in your boots because you're so excited.
I know, and I shouldn't be because it's still got Fallout 4.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'll still be playing that by the time Dark Souls 3 comes out, probably.
You'll be playing that until the end of the generation.
Right. Yeah, that and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for me, guys, and I mentioned this earlier, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I am so hyped for Mirror's Edge. I loved the original. I mean, it was just special. It was original. There was nothing else like it. I mean, it was a first-person parkour game. I mean, how often do you see games like that? And I can't tell you how long I spent working on those time trials, trying to beat my times, watching videos online, trying to figure the best routes. I mean, I was so hooked on that game. And seeing this new one and what they're doing with it, I'm so excited. I've been, longing and waiting for a new Mirror's Edge for a while. So my hopes are pretty high.
Say the least.
Right. Well, guys, all our listeners out there, you got us in your head right now. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. But sadly, we've come to the end of our show. And
don't miss us too much.
Right. We'll be back next week, we promise. But you guys know where you can find us. Life of Gaming Podcast. Make sure to find us on Facebook. Find us on Twitter at Life of Gaming Pod and on Google+. As I mentioned earlier, make sure to check out our YouTube page. We're going to be adding a lot more content on there, especially Let's Plays and video reviews. So we haven't done that before. We're going to start getting into that. So that's actually pretty exciting. Maybe do some previews along the way as well. And if you want, you can check out our website right now. Like I said, lifeofgamingpodcast.wordpress.com. We're going to be adding a lot more content. We're changing some things up on there, so we're pretty excited about that. You guys know you can find our podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and we also have it on the Microsoft MP3 store, so we're pretty much everywhere. Go on there and rate us. You guys know you can find me at JamesPlus12 on Twitter, and then on Xbox and on Twitch, Jamester0722. And Brant, where can people find you?
I'll be playing my Metal Gear Solid 5 all day. No. On Twitch, I'm at -the_Brant. That's my screen name on PSN. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. And what about you, Matt? I see you got some people tweeting at you and all sorts of stuff now.
At cpunkrock07 on Twitter and xmightymatt14x on Xbox.
Cool. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. We're out of the summer game series. We're into the fall. We have a lot of awesome things planned, so make sure you stick around. But until next time, we are out.
Bye.
Later.